Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. This your boy Town Biz. While everybody is trying to blame Kyrie Irving and saying he's a team obliterator and all that stuff, which is complete horse wash. The person that people need to be blaming is Joe Tsai. But, that won't happen because the media will have to admit that they were wrong because they were trying to push this agenda towards Kyrie Irving that nobody wanted him. Nobody could take a chance on him. And we all know the main catalyst who was doing it was Stephen A. Smith. And, Stephen A. Smith, at the end of the day, it's kind of funny. Me and Two Raw, we love exposing Stephen A. Smith. And I'll take pleasure in exposing Stephen A. Smith for the fraudulent liar and hypocrite he is. Like I said, it's amazing how he has all this vitriol and hatred towards, another black man in Kyrie Irving. But this is the same dude that made excuses for Dana White, who made excuses for Jerry Jones. But he got all this hatred for Kyrie Irving. And this is why people don't respect Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith isn't respected. Joe Tsai is the reason why that team fell apart. His ego, his arrogance, and his stupidity. Thinking that he could try to treat somebody like they a child. Talking about you like he Kyrie Irving's father. Kyrie Irving got a father, and his father is black, like him. But he trying to treat somebody like they a child, saying you got to prove to me you're sorry. And see, he got caught up in this media stuff. And now all of a sudden that it backfired, and now that the media, instead of them just taking a L with Kyrie Irving, they want to still blame Kyrie Irving when in fact Joe Tsai is to blame because he ruined the team. At the end of the day, Joe Tsai was the one trying to force Kyrie Irving to do something he didn't want to do, trying to put special incentives in his contract just for him, telling this man he had to give X amount of money to certain groups and all this kind of stuff. A 6-step program. I mean, it was just overboard. And now it got to the point to where Kyrie Irving played well enough to, an elite level to where he became an all-star. People was like, wait a minute, he got voted into the all-star? Oh, is it? It is value for him. He got voted in as a starter. So that killed the narrative about he's a bad teammate, the fans don't like him and all that kind of stuff. No, it was just media hogwash as usual, what they love to do, which is demonize a black athlete. Now, for people that have a problem with me talking about race, hey, this ain't the channel for you. Because I'm going to continue to talk about race issues pertaining to sports and overall society. So if you have a problem with me talking about race, you are more than free not to come back to my channel. Okay? Not going to change my narrative because you don't feel comfortable talking about these issues or you don't like it. Hey, like I said, once again, this is not for you. But Kyrie Irving got the last laugh. He played very well, stock risen, and got voted into the All-Star game as a starter, which showed the fans it's not tripping off Kyrie Irving like the so-called media is. The media is more upset at Kyrie Irving than the fans are. And like I said, this whole thing about him tweeting about a movie nobody wasn't even checking for, which, by the way, he helped the filmmaker, bring some notoriety to himself. And you just seen a lot of the hypocrisy with Kyrie Irving. Joe Tsai is probably one of the worst owners, if not the worst owner. Right now, he is the worst owner. And I can tell you now, nobody wants to play for him and nobody will want to play for him. You think people are not watching? They may not be, you know what I'm saying? They might not be tweeting or having mainstream discussions about Joe Tsai, but behind the scenes, I'm telling you, if you a basketball player and you a free agent, would you want to play for Joe Tsai? That's just real talk. Who would want to play for this guy right now at this point? When they see how he treated Kyrie Irving. He destroyed his team, not Kyrie Irving. At the end of the day, when this whole potion situation, when this whole potion thing came up, Kyrie Irving could have played road games, but no, they was like, well, we're not going to play him. Because at the end of the day, Joe Tsai thought he could treat Kyrie Irving like he's some kind of, personal property, like he's some, you know what I'm saying? and just think he could get away with it. And he really was using this as an excuse to get out of paying him the money he was paying him. All these fines and all this type of stuff he was doing, which I got to talk about that later on. I got another story pertaining to that. So, no, Kyrie Irving didn't obliterate the team. Joe Tsai obliterated the team. All this stuff about Kyrie Irving is a bad teammate. I'm waiting for one person to come out and say Kyrie Irving is a bad teammate. How come nobody ain't said, hey, I don't want to play with Kyrie Irving? Why did Luka say, I'll take Kyrie Irving? Mark Cuban asked Luka, how do you feel about playing with Kyrie Irving? Luka like, I'm cool. Let's do it. Shout out to Luka. Shout out to Mark Cuban. And I think Mark Cuban, I think this is why a lot of people don't like Mark Cuban, because Mark Cuban, I'm not, saying Mark Cuban is the white savior or anything, but I will say this much. Mark Cuban is he's different. Kind of funny, I would say he's a maverick, but actually he is a maverick because he owns the Mavericks. So he's like what you call he's a vigilante. He's not a good old boy. He marches to the beat of his own drum. Now, Mark Cuban has said some stuff that I haven't liked in the past that kind of like made me like all right, man, gone with all that stuff. But I will say this much. He marches to the beat of his own drum. And Mark Cuban killed the narrative that nobody wanted Kyrie Irving. And I think a lot of people is mad about that. I know a lot of mainstream people mad about it because they wanted to push this narrative. Oh, nobody likes Kyrie Irving. Nobody wants to play with him. Like I said, you name me one person that played with Kyrie Irving that said they didn't like him. There you have it. I know for sure it was people that didn't like Brent Favre, which I'll speak on Brent Favre in a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you want to blame somebody, you blame the owner. He destroyed that team. And as you can see, when Kyrie Irving left, Kevin Durant was like, get me up out of here. So they had no choice but to basically trade Kevin Durant. So like I said, you want to blame somebody, you blame Joe Tsai, not Kyrie Irving. I don't care about what happened in Boston. I don't care what happened in Cleveland. Like I said, it's quick for the media, and I'm going to keep exposing y'all. Y'all want to push certain narratives, and then at the end of the day, you have certain content creators that want to push certain narratives, especially about black athletes. And I'm going to call y'all out without saying y'all names because I don't give nobody free publicity. But anyway, just wanted to get that point across. It's Joe Tsai's fault. And like I said before, he's going to have a hard time getting key free agents to come play for him. And even if he trades for him, it's going to be hard to get people to remain with the team. That's just real talk. That's factual. But at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving got the last laugh, though. All this stuff about nobody wanted him and nobody gonna take chances on him and you shouldn't give him. And like I said before, that's why Stephen A. Smith is black trash. Anyway, it's your boy Tam Biz. I'm out.